the other thing too is at present time it would be an assumption that there would be an entrance off of Wallace Drive, and so that would still be, for all intents and purposes, that would still be a go anyway.
Yes, but the volume would be split between the entrance off of Wallace and the approved entrance off of the highway. If there was higher volume coming in off of Wallace, there may be a requirement at that time to extend the left turn lane down as far as Wallace.
Okay. All right. Yep.
So.
And we have had great support from MTO, and I'm sure that will continue. They're pretty amazing people to deal with for some reason. They at some points they used to be a little bit iffy, but they're just wonderful right now. Anyway, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Moved by David McKay, seconded by Kathy Rager. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region receive and file departmental reports from Treasurer, Public Works Department, Environmental Services, Fire Department, and Reeve. And our Environmental Services report is in front of us on paper. Our Environmental Services Manager was on holidays, so he whipped this up today. And we will start with the Treasurer. Have you got anything to add to your report, Marcia?
No, I don't.
Any questions for Marcia? Bill, have you got anything to add?
No.
Any questions for Bill? Doug, anything?
Not at this time.
Any questions for Doug? Environmental Services, Steve, anything to add?
No, Mayor Johnson.
Any questions for Steve? Okay, well, we'll take you off. Chief Ebner.
Not at this time.
And Reeve Miller. Anything to add to your report? All right then. Any questions of the Fire Department of Chief Ebner? Any questions of Reeve? Councillor Olmsted.
I just see in the Reeves report that Renfrew County will host the 2016 Ontario Trails Conference. Do we have a date set for that yet?
Not that I noticed, Councillor Olmsted. And I got asked today by email where it was, and I don't know the answer to either one. I think it might have been narrowed down to a month. I didn't put that in my report, eh?
No, I didn't see it.
I think the month is out, but maybe not the date. I will check that for you.
Appreciate it. As you know, we're very interested in trails at this point. Thank you.
Councillor Jackson.
I didn't see a CAO's report anywhere in the package or on my desk. I'm just wondering if there is one.
No, there isn't one. That shouldn't have been in the agenda, and it wasn't in the motion. I didn't have anything to report.
Okay.
No. Any more questions of any of our staff? If not, all those in favor of accepting? All those against? Carried. Moved by Dave McKay, seconded by Kathy Rager. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region adopts the minutes of the Council in committee meeting of October 14th and November 4th, 2015. Any questions? Councillor McLaughlin.
Just one question. I think when we, and it's under Public Works, where we turned down the tender, was that not a budget item?
I would imagine it was, yeah.
Well, why would we pass it in budget and then turn it down after we've gone through the process?
I believe it was voted on.
I realize it was voted on. I'm just asking the question of why. It should have been, I mean, if discussion is going to be done at budget time and it's approved at budget, then I just don't understand after you've gone through the process, then you turn it down. Was it the cost?
No, it was because it was deemed not to be necessary.
Well, why was it not deemed not necessary at budget time?
There were circumstances that if it wasn't purchased last year or this year and then purchased in the fall where it won't be used all winter, it proved itself not to be required.
I just don't remember those comments coming out in the discussion, that's all.
Well, those were very clear in the discussion, actually. Any other questions? All those in favor? Okay. Against, if any? Carried. The one that just that says them all, or are we just going to do them one at a time regardless? We might as well. Okay. That's correct. These are the motions that were brought forward by committee from November 4th committee meetings. Moved by Terry Miller, seconded by David Mackay. Be it resolved that the Environmental Services Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region recommends to Council that the November 4th, 2015 status report prepared by JP2G Consultants, Inc. for the Cobden Wastewater Treatment Plant upgrades be accepted and the invoice of $10,459.85 be paid. Any questions? All those in favor? Oh, you have to do that, yeah. Want to do another one? Like that, yeah. Sure. Moved by Darrell McLaughlin, second by Terry Miller. Be it resolved that the Corporate Service Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region recommends to Council to increase the maximum amount of 90 hours for the 2015 year bank straight time hours. This was a recorded vote. I'm going to talk to this one too. I'm actually thinking this over for the last 2 weeks, and I don't think at the end of the year this should be the start of the year that this is negotiated, because we've had no way of controlling the hours, and I think this should be moving to budget instead of being passed at this point. The discussion should go ahead. That's just my comment. So, Councillor Jackson.
I would also like to remind Council that this recommendation, this motion that was put forward on the table was not a recommendation put forward by staff in their staffing report. They were not asking for it. This was something that came out of council's discussion, and I would like a recorded vote again.
Starting with Darrell, moving to Dave. Councillor McLaughlin.
I would I'm lost on what the mayor, in his reasonings or his comments, I didn't quite understand. If you could explain again to me.
My comment is that we are doing something that we didn't budget for in this case. If we were to negotiate this for the next budget, that would be setting a little better with me, but I'm only making my comment. Councillor McLaughlin.
But I don't see how it affects the budget at all, because there's no monetary gain one way or the other. Am I wrong in my thoughts?
We're going to lose staff for an additional 20 hours out of the office at the end of the year. That's a lot of vacant chairs for a lot of hours.
But we have gained staff hours for another 20 hours over the year as well. So it's not like we're giving away time. It's they've already accumulated the time. That's my thinking.
Yeah, we still haven't gotten that from our budget negotiations, and it was already in an agreement with the hiring policy that they would do as the time that was required to do their job. That's where I'm coming from. Councillor McLaughlin.
Maybe what we should do, and I think there should be discussion at the start in January, how we're going to reduce the onus on the staff over the year. What are we going to do so that we can cut down the hours that we're asking them to do over and above their regular time? And maybe that discussion, I think, should happen.
I'm in favor of that at the start of the year, how we're going to cut down on staff time. But this is going to be a recorded vote, and I think we can talk about those things at committee meetings in the future. Councillor Mackay.
Well, part of the reason we have them extra hours on them people is that some of us are inexperienced. I think that probably took time. But by having daytime meetings during December, January, February, whatever, that'll alleviate that for next year. So they've already spent them hours, we're just trying to give them back to them. I think that's fair. That's what I think.
And that'll be the way you vote, no doubt.
All right.
This is the A and A vote. Councillor Olmsted.
As we beat this one to death in the committee meetings, can we please just
vote?
Receive the recorded vote? Can we move on?
Let's move on.
Thank you.
A recorded vote has been requested by Councillor Jackson. We'll begin with Councillor Mackay. The mayor will vote last. Councillor Mackay?
Yay.
Councillor Regier?
Yay.
Reid Miller?
Yay.
Councillor Olmsted? Oh, I'm sorry, Councillor Jackson, pardon me.
Nay.
Councillor Olmsted?
Yay.
Councillor McLaughlin?
Yay.
Mayor Johnson?
Nay. Carried.
Okay, just a second, make sure I get this right.
Councillor Regier.
Sorry, just moving forward, can we be sure we get this onto a corporate services committee meeting in the new year so this can be discussed? Because Councillor McLaughlin makes a very good point that, we need to deal with this immediately, like in the, right up front.
I'm personally full in favor of doing that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Councillor Olmsted.
For the CAO, just for procedures, as this is a different vote count than what happened at committee meetings. Do we need to go back now? And because we have different.
The ratification vote supersedes the committee vote, so this is what will be recorded in the minutes.
Okay.
The committee vote has already been recorded in the committee minutes, but this ratification changed vote will be recorded as a recorded vote in the council minutes.
And it's still passed. So it's didn't change anything. Moved by Councillor Olmsted, seconded by Councillor McLaughlin. Be it resolved that the Corporate Services Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region recommend to Council to schedule one committee meeting a month to be held from 1 to 4 p.m. in December, January, February, and March 2016. All those, pardon me? Ooh, sorry. To be held from 1 to 4 p.m. in January, February, and March 2016. All those in favor?
I would like a recorded vote again, thank you.
Okay, recorded vote, starting with Councillor Olmsted, moving to Councillor McLaughlin.
Yay? Sir, I can't. I'm in a hurry.
It is the councillor's prerogative to ask for a recorded vote, and it doesn't slow things down.
So once again, counterclockwise with the mayor voting last, Councillor McKay?
No, it's
Sorry, Councillor McKay.
it's got to start with the mover, Councillor Olmsted.
No.
No? I'm sorry.
Left to right with the chair voting last.
Oh, okay.
Counterclockwise, that's the last rendition of the procedural bylaw. Councillor McKay?
Yes.
Councillor Regular? Reid Miller?
Nay.
Councillor Jackson?
Nay.
Councillor Olmsted?
Still yay.
Councillor McLaughlin?
Yay.
Mayor Johnson?
Yay. Carried. Even with this vote, it has to be understood that we have to respect times of people that can't. We may have to negotiate the days that we have the day meetings just to show a little respect for those who can't, because we all work. Councillor McLaughlin.
Well, I'll go back to past practice, and that goes way back when they first started the day meetings. The day meetings were on Wednesday. I worked. I had to find a way either to come or not to come, because the meetings were held on Wednesday. If you're going to start juggling days, I can't do that, because I can take the Wednesdays, because I have it scheduled. But if you're going to start going Tuesdays and start going Thursdays and things like that, I can't do that. So, and that wasn't in the motion, I don't think.
Nope, just trying to be representative of respect.
Well,
We will just forego respect then. Not a problem. Moved by Dave Mackay, seconded by Terry Miller. Be it resolved that the Corporate Service Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region authorizes ORES to submit microfit solar project application for 11 municipal-owned sites: Beachburg Arena, Cobden Arena, Haley's Station Water Treatment Plant, Haley's Station Fire Hall, Forsters Falls Fire Hall, Forsters Falls Library, Westmeath Waste Management Site, Westmeath Arena, Ross Waste Management Site, Westmeath Public Works Garage, and Mindview Public Works Garage. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, if any? Go ahead, Councillor Olmsted.
So just a question about, we've been kind of just discussing the needs for him to put an application in, but I'd really like to know, like, what's the drop dead date for a go on any of these projects? My understanding is we haven't given them a go, we've given a yes to go ahead and apply for the applications because the rates are changing for 2016. So I'd just like to understand that, what are the dates that we need to make decisions on?
Christine?
Yeah, my understanding, Councillor Olmsted, is that we had to get them in order to be returned approved by the end of the year. In terms of drop dead after that, I do not know, but I will inquire. But the urgent deadline was getting them back approved by December 31st, still with no commitment to any project. I did receive an email today. There's a bit of a snag. Apparently Pembroke has experienced the same snag with pre-amalgamation ownership listed versus Whitewater Region. So Hope and I will be investigating that. It shouldn't be too much of a hold-up, but I will find out.
I'm pretty sure, Councillor Olmsted, it's 3 months with the ability to ask for extensions. All those in favor? Opposed, if any? Carried. Moved by Terry Miller, seconded by Dave Mackay, be it resolved that the Corporate Service Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region recommends to Council that the existing complement of 3 crossing guards in Cobden be maintained, and that staff request the crossing guard to provide a current police clearance certificate from the local police service at the township's expense. Any questions? Councillor McLaughlin.
Just wondering, and I've noticed that there's been different crossing guards, like there's been more than 3, and so I really think we need to have it narrowed down to the 3. If we're going to do the police checks, then it should be just 3, because there are different people there at different times. I know that for a fact. So I don't know who's responsible to get the crossing guards or hire the crossing guards. Are we? Is it our?
Christine?
I honestly can't answer that for you. They were in place before I arrived on the scene. Certainly, it's news to me that it's over and above the 3 that we have. I'll discuss this with Erica, who seems to know more about it.
Councillor Jackson?
The municipality is responsible for the crossing guards. The municipality pays those crossing guards. The municipality should know on a day-to-day basis who is on the crossing guards, and they shouldn't be replacing themselves on a day-to-day basis. If they can't be there, they should be notifying the municipality, and I would hope that that message gets passed on. It's very important that they have the clearance certificate from the police force, and if there is spares, then those spares also have to have checks as well, but the municipality should be notified of any changes on a day-to-day basis, and not, they shouldn't be able to maintain them on their own.
Christine?
I fully agree, and this is the first I've heard of this, so we will investigate this and I'll come back to you with more information.
Councillor Olmsted?
So should we change this motion to say, just to strike the 3 crossing guards from it and just say any? So if there are some, maybe there's 3 full-time and 2 part-time that do take over, I don't know, maybe Marcia has a different answer.
Marcia?
I do know that we pay only 3 crossing guards at this time. That's all we've ever paid. What they do on what they might do is take a shift from each other, or I know, for example, Alton was absent one day, and maybe that's the day that you saw somebody else. Maybe, I don't know, but we only pay 3, and I'm only aware of 3. That's I only do 3 payrolls for them. But we certainly will find out if there is spares that they're using, but I know we do not pay those spares. Whatever, they may have an arrangement among themselves, but not with us. But we will get to the bottom of it.
Councillor Jackson.
And I think it's important to pass that information on to them.
Absolutely.
That they don't make those decisions.
Absolutely.
So do we strike the 3 crossing guards and put it to existing complement of crossing guards? How do we want to do that? Councillor Jackson, then Councillor McLaughlin.
Perhaps it's the complement of 3 crossing areas, rather than guards in Cobden be maintained, and that staff request the crossing guards. And therefore, if there is some kind of a spare sitting out there, that we be made aware of them, and appropriate information is passed on to the municipality.
Councillor McLaughlin.
I wonder maybe if we shouldn't first off find out what is happening, and then at that point then we can make the decision, because I mean there is a cost to doing police checks. I know it's not a major cost, but there is a cost to the municipality. So I mean if we're going to make it open, it could be up to 6 or 8. I just know that there's been different people there at different times.
And I assume that they have to have some kind of a relief program because people get sick and whatever, and so what's the feeling? We want to hold off? We want to go ahead? We want to vote on it? I think we can vote on it, personally. We can just, we'll change the 3 crossing areas and vote on it. In Cobden. Be it resolved that the Corporate Service Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region recommends to Council that the existing complement of 3 crossing areas in Cobden be maintained, and the staff request the crossing guards to provide a current police clearance certificate from the local police service with the township paying at the township's expense. All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Dave Mackay, second by Terry Miller. Be it resolved that the Corporate Service Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region offers the following feedback to the Renfrew County District School Board regarding the pupil accommodation review policy. A 75-home subdivision is approved for Cobden. It will be built by Bonasher Excavating Incorporated in phases beginning in 2016. This will undoubtedly lead to increased enrollment in the Cobden Public School. The Corporate Service Committee wishes to receive a written invitation to discuss and comment on the recommended options in the school board's initial staff report that will affect schools in Whitewater Region, including the villages of Beachburg, Westmeath, and Cobden, as well as the high schools that service our township, being Obiango Fellows and RCI. Any questions? All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Kathy Regier, seconded by Terry Miller. Be it resolved that the Public Works Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region recommends to Council that they declare the following equipment to be surplus, and further recommends that the Council direct staff to proceed with disposal of these items by advertising and requesting sealed public tenders. The award of the tender will be based on the highest bid. Should we be putting in there no reserve bid? Okay. Will be based on the highest bid. Number 1, 2004 Chev Silverado 1500. 2, 1999 Volvo WG64F tandem truck. Number 3, 1989 GMC 7000 pumper truck. Number 4, 1984 Ford Econoline 350 fire rescue ambulance. And number 5, 1999 GMC Harry Van. All those in favor? Opposed? Councillor Regier.
Just one quick comment. I don't want to lose sight of all of this excess. We need to get rid of it. As we noticed the last time there was something from 2 years ago that we had advised to get rid of, and was still sitting here. So we need to just stay on top of it and get it out, get it gone, just so we don't lose sight of that. Even if we touch base in 6 months and see where all this is at, just so we're not sitting here 2 years with any of this sitting here. Just a point.
Councillor Jackson.
Perhaps the Public Works Manager can bring back a report once all those tenders are in and let us know when the tender's going out and when it's closing and what has been sold and what the recommendation is if something hasn't been sold.
I would recommend that we put that out, close it before the end of, or before the middle of December so that we can get rid of it hopefully before too much snow. And then we can make a decision before Christmas, hopefully. Well, no, we don't need to see it, sorry. But so it can be gone. All those in favor? Opposed, if any? Carried. Be it resolved that the Public Works Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region recommends to Council that tender number PW-8, 2015 window replacement, Westmeath Garage be awarded to Valley Window and Door for $2,226.27, tax included. All those in favor? Carried. Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Kathy Rager. Be it resolved that the Public Works Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region recommends to Council that tender number PW-9-215 slip-in water dust suppressant tank be awarded to that shouldn't be on here because we turned that down, eh? We turned that down, so it should.
Yes, it's not carried. The bottom.
Oh yeah, not carried, okay.
Vote on the fact that it's turned down.
Okay. To Council that tender number PW-9-2015 slip-in water dust suppressant tank be awarded to RMES for $30,154.05, tax included. This was turned down, and that's what we're voting on. All those in favor of it being turned down? Councillor McLaughlin.
I just would like a recorded vote.
Sure.
Okay.
Councillor Jackson.
And I guess I'm just looking for procedure-wise, when it was turned down at committee, why is it at council meeting? I'm not aware of that happening before.
It's my understanding that all decisions of committee have to be ratified by full council.
So should the motion then be different than it appeared at the committee meeting?
Well, it's really 6 of one, half dozen of another. Either you vote to support it being voted down, or I reword it, but then it wouldn't have reflected what came through committee.
My understanding of being ratified means that whatever was passed at committee is ratified then at council, not the opposite. But I've never ever come across something like this before.
Well, we got it in front of us.
Well, we can, if that has never been my understanding, if that's the way you wish to proceed, then we'll just consider it not carried in the committee minutes, but it will not show up in the full council minutes as having been confirmed. So if that's what you wish to do, that's fine. Also, for the record, I apologize, I looked up in the procedural bylaw, and you're absolutely right. The recorded vote, for future note, starts with the council member that moved the motion. Counterclockwise, the meeting chair votes last, so I apologize for that.
No, I knew that, you see. Now, you stab yourself with that pen.
Okay. What do you want?
Let's just it's here and it's now, and I just get permission of the council just for this one time. We can discuss this procedure later, but let's vote on the fact that it wasn't carried. Recorded vote. Are we going to support our committee decision?
But what is the motion that was, sorry, I'm jumping in, apologize, but the motion that was read before us is exactly the motion that was put forward onto the committee, and that's why my question was, should the motion that's put forward, if a negative vote is coming to council at all, should that motion not be different? To confirm the negative vote, rather than have the same motion put forward again and have a full discussion again. My understanding that it not come forward at all, but
Councillor Olmsted.
Can I suggest we strike it from the meeting and move on?
Okay, let's strike it from the meeting and move on.
The only one procedural comment I would have, just for your consideration, is that if there had been, if you don't rediscuss motions from committee, there may have been a change of mind or a change of heart. That discussion would not be able to take place if motions that are not carried do not come to council.
Councillor Jackson.
I guess it could always be put back on a committee meeting for further discussion if that was a councillor's wish at the time. And that's how I've always done it, but
I'm Councillor Olmsted.
Just procedurally, I do like the notion that if it does not get through a committee meeting, that it does not come to formal council.
Yeah, I actually like that too. Okay, moving on. Moved by Charlene Jackson, seconded by Kathy Regier. Be it resolved that the Public Works Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region recommends to Council that the Township accept conveyance of 33 feet from center line to the portion sorry, did we not get an email holding this off? No, not this one? Sorry. Oh, the severances, sorry then. Be resolved that the Public Works Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region recommends to Council that the Township accept the conveyance of 33 feet from center line to the portion of Broom Road located within the Eagle's Nest property for road purposes. Property owner, Wilderness Tours, will be responsible for the legal fees and Ontario Land Survey costs, which will include 2 plow turnarounds. This conveyance would result in a natural severance of the woodland located north of the road from Eagle's Nest House and farmlands located south of the road, and allow all conveyance of the farmlands to an interested purchaser. Timeline of 6 months must be specified for the survey to be registered on title. I do have a question. Why do we need 2 turnarounds on a road that's already got a turnaround? Councillor McLaughlin.
I think it had to do because of the hill, the big steep hill. There was a turnaround at the top. He mentioned to me because the turnarounds will be deeded to the township. The turnaround now is not deeded to the township. So there's a turnaround at the bottom of the hill, at the end of the road, which will be deeded to the township. And there is a turnaround at the top of the hill that will be deeded as well to the township. And that was the reasoning why the 2 turnarounds were.
Okay, when we're already going to the bottom of the hill, I just don't see, I don't care if they do it as a result of this, but I just didn't think that we needed it all. Christine?
Yeah, those 2 were offered in Mr. Kowalski's proposal in case an icy steep hill in case it was necessary. That was offered by him.
Okay, Councillor McLaughlin?
I wonder maybe if we should ask the Public Works Manager, as he's the one that will be involved in it, what he's thinking.
I thought the new turnaround was deeded because the existing turnaround was on, somebody else's property that wasn't going to be included in this, but it would actually be at the bottom of the hill.
The letter we have on file is that the turnaround that we have now can be used by us as long as we need it.
Yeah,
So-
I don't think we need another one. I agree with you. One at the bottom of the hill is fine because we have to go right to the bottom anyways every time. So,
Yeah, we can accept this motion the way it's read, but we can also, if he doesn't need to build it,
yeah,
then there's no use of him building it.
absolutely.
That can be a choice of Public Works, I'm sure. Any more questions? All those in favor? Carried. Moved by David Mackay, seconded by Kathy Rager. Be it resolved that the Public Works Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region recommends to Council that the design bill tender be put out for the entire sand storage structure at Westmeath Patrol Yard. Any questions? All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes.
Was this not a design build RFP, or was it a design build tender?
Believe the terminology we had used was design build tender because the options are part of the design build portion as opposed to a request for proposal. The design build portion covers that off, and I believe that was also the same nomenclature that Laurentian Valley used.
So sorry?
Go ahead.
Does the terminology of us using design build tender then make us commit to accepting a tender? What if we decide that we don't want to go ahead with this?
Not if it's properly worded. Councillor Jackson.
I in fact asked that particular question today of Jennifer Robitaille, who was here with regards to a purchasing group, and she's a specialist in purchasing. And the difference between a tender is that you, for the most part, take the lowest bid unless it's specified that you don't necessarily take the lowest bid. An RFP is there might be some other qualifications that you want to look at rather than just the price. If you want to look at recommendations, if you want to look at past quality of work and stuff like that, that you or who's heading the project. So that type of thing, and that's the only difference between the two. Because in a tender, you can put in there that it's not necessarily the lowest bid will be the successful purchaser or the tenderer, and in an RFP, you outline a little bit more qualifications other than just the lowest bid.
Go ahead.
To Councillor Jackson, who seems to understand this. So neither one actually commits us to going ahead with the project if we decide that that's not the project we want to pursue.
That's correct.
That's the correct, but I would hesitate to think that this project not go ahead because there is no other place for sand storage in the Westmeath area, and we would be lost without it. So unless we get one tender and we're not satisfied with one tender only and we want to go out again, I don't know that I think I would want to proceed with this project per se, but we'd have to see what kind of tenders come in to determine whether or not we would go ahead or not. But I think it's a project that needs to go ahead.
So who would ensure the proper wording that we go to Public Works?
Yeah.
So we have to make sure the proper wording's in there that doesn't actually commit us to anything.
It's fairly easy to do actually. So it would not necessarily take the lowest tender or not necessarily take any tender. It's fairly simple wording and added easily. Yeah. I'm sure it's in every one that we have. All those in favor? Carried. Councillor McLaughlin.
Just before you move on, I thought there was a couple more motions or a couple of tenders that we were supposed to check on, and I wondered if that has moved forward at all, to check the references?
It is moving forward. They were tabled, and they will become, as soon as we have the information complete for you,
Okay.
it will be coming
No,
forward.
that's fine. I remembered those two, and I thought maybe they should be back by now.
Hunting season puts a bit of a damper in our ability to get references.
Hunting season puts a bit of damper on a lot of things around here.
Moved by David Mackay, seconded by Kathy Rager. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region approves that the following bylaws be introduced, read, dealt with, numbered, signed by the mayor and clerk, and sealed and recorded in the bylaw book. 1. 15-11-825 Development Agreement 2269805 Ontario Inc. Any comments? All those in favor? 2. 15-11-826 deeming bylaw. Legree. Any questions? All those agree? Okay. 3. 15-11-827 disposal of asset procedures. Any questions? Okay. All in favor? 4. 15-11-828 Agricorp 2016-2018 agreement. Any questions? All those in favor of the bylaws passing? Carried. Councillor Jackson.
I just want to make one comment with regards to the bylaw, 15-11-827, that all the cross-outs that we actually file online or wherever the actual bylaw, the good version, rather than the crossed-out and amended version of the bylaw, because there are a number of documents that are on the website that are filed like this.
Oh, well, that was certainly my intention to file this was for everyone's background. From current years? All right, well, I'll have to review that. Thank you for letting me know.
Councillor Olmsted.
For our purposes of looking at this, I do like seeing, for our purposes rather than the ones that are actually downloaded or uploaded, I do like seeing this version for us at council, so we know what changes have been made, just to clarify that.
And that was the intent of it, and if they have been, if I've uploaded the wrong versions, I will go back and try and look through. Karen and I will work on that and correct them. They shouldn't be there.
Councillor Jackson.
I agree. At the committee meeting, it's very nice to see all the changes, but once it comes to the final passing, it could be in the format that needs to be signed. But I do like the fact that you get to see the changes.
Moved by Dave Mackay, seconded by Terry Miller. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region receives and files correspondence 1 through 5. Can we read them all out? Everybody read them and good with them? Excuse me. Councillor McLaughlin.
I'm just looking at 11-4, and are we going to have a representative there?
Yep.
Okay.
Anybody's invited to that, by the way, from council. Personally, I will be attending. Any other questions on correspondence? All those in favor? Carried. Moved by David Mackay, seconded by Kathy Rager. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region agrees to a sale price of $930,000.
We wish.
Okay, I just wondering how we got to that, eh? I was gonna ask if that was coming to us. Agrees to a sale price of $930 for Nelson Jerva to purchase surplus land, part lot 16 EFC Westmeath as Plan R669735. There will be notice on title to protect the township and future property owners stating that it has been fully disclosed that this land was previously used as a waste site and that the municipality makes no representation or warranties regarding environmental issues. All those in favor? Opposed, if any? Carried. Just have one question. We'll have to strike that one off for the proposal for the solar panels, right? That's where one of them was. Where is this? Yeah. This is a different one. Okay, just to clear it up in my mind, sorry. Yes. Done and done. Moved by Dave Mackay, seconded by Kathy Rager. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region congratulates the Cobden Visitor Information Center volunteer staff on their 99% rating in the 2015 annual Mystery Shopper Report. All those in favor? Opposed, if any? Carried. That's pretty high up on the... Now.
It looks like it was Rita Patterson that was the staff that was on that day, if I'm reading this right. So I think we should, just make mention of her because this is very outstanding. It's good, and it just goes to show again, how great that visitor center is down there, and the staffing down there and the volunteers down there are. Well, this just says it all.
Maybe we could do up a little thing that could be presented to her and then put into the visitor center.
I think that would be very nice.
All right then. You may.
Just by way of history, I'm not quite sure which branch of the Ontario Tourism portfolio looks after this, but every year for all the visitor centers across Ontario, Hope knows how many there are. She's not here tonight. I honestly don't know, but there are several, many. They send out a mystery shopper who you never know is just a camper or someone having lunch just to check everything out. So 99% is pretty amazing. So Kathy, I'll get that information from you. Okay, do that.
Moved by Dave Mackay, seconded by Kathy Rager. Be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Whitewater Region direct the Public Works Department to assist the Beachburg Lions Club with excavation at a side of the Lions Hall directly beside the Fire Hall parking lot to allow cars to park horizontally beside each other along the west side of the Fire Hall lot to allow more room for parking to avoid blocking the exit of the fire vehicle exiting the garage. Any questions? I'm going to speak to that just the Lions Club we're experiencing greater success, I guess, but also experiencing problems with people parking where they were blocking the exit of the fire department if there was a fire, and it was starting to be a huge concern of theirs. And, by moving the parking down and excavating some of the hill beside the Lions Hall, they can accommodate quite a few cars, and then they can also, and we should also look at putting no parking signs to accommodate the exit of the fire trucks in that particular area.